This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit, which is happening September 15 through 17, now virtually. And someone who you will definitely see there, actually, because they are presenting, is my guest right now, who is Michael Rowley. He is the president, CEO, and director of Group 10 Metals. It's a publicly traded company. The symbols are PGE on the TSX Venture and PGEZF on the OTCQB. You can't miss it. It's right there in the background for him. But Michael, thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on. So let's start with a very quick overview and history of the company, and then we can go from there.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a founder of the company. I've been with it since day one. We've been acquiring quality assets throughout the bear market with a strategy. We now have 3 district scale positions, 100% owned, and that's a key point about our company. Second point would be that each of those adjoin some of the best mines or deposits of their type. And the flagship asset, very much of late, the 2017 acquisition of the Stillwater project. We own literally half of the Stillwater Igneous Complex, which is a remarkable position for a junior to have. And we're beside the 3 highest grade palladium and platinum mines in the world. And we're applying this thinking from South Africa to the lower portions of that complex. And it's a fantastic opportunity for a junior.
So what would you say makes the company unique and different compared to some of your peers out there?
Those 100% ownership positions, but also the quality of the districts. These are district scale assets in North America. We've got Elon Musk looking for battery grade nickel. He just put out the call a couple of days ago. We've got it 1 state away from him in Montana, in a district that has a smelter and 3 producing mines. That's very interesting. The scale that we have at Stillwater and potential for scale is fantastic. And you add to that the fact that the district is surprisingly underexplored despite the iconic name of our neighbors. And that's a remarkable opportunity.
So tell us a little bit more about, the actual pulling out the material from the ground, getting that nickel. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, there might be people watching this that might say, all right, well, what's the environmental impact? What is there a worry there? Can you tell us a little bit about that process and what the company is doing to separate itself to make sure that things are done in an environmentally friendly way?
Sure. Well, the central point, I guess, is that we have nickel sulfide. So that is the tech grade nickel. And with minimal energy input, that becomes the nickel sulfate that they're looking for batteries. You can't do that with the laterite nickel that's mined in more tropical regions. Concerning environmental impacts, the smelter that Sibanye runs in Columbus, Montana is a thing of beauty. The whole operation is impeccably clean and well run and very profitable for the state, for the employees. They are mining just hundreds of meters north of us right there. So, I mean, there's already mining in the district, and it wouldn't be too hard to envision somebody coming south onto our ground. We're on a very different mining model than them. They're doing the narrow high grade reef systems. That works very well for them. I think their 80 million ounce deposit reflects the amount of metal in the system. And theirs is a nickel copper sulfide system, which is worth mentioning, but it's only 1 or 2 meters wide as a reef. We're doing that broader plat reef system. So bulk mining techniques would apply, tens to hundreds of meters thick, kilometers long. And the parallel there would be Ivanhoe's plat reef deposit in South Africa in the Bushveld, and Mahalaquena just north of that, Anglo-Americans' cash cow in their words. We're basically the first to bring that thinking to Stillwater, and it's there based on the parallels, and it's there based on our drilling last year.
Got it. So, one thing that we talk about a lot with exploration companies is very similar with biotechs. It's like, all right, when are they going to start pulling stuff out of the ground and selling it, right? Because there's a lot that goes into exploration, hitting the drill holes, getting it right, PEA, all that stuff. So I have to ask you, where are we currently at in that process?
Well, we're pre-resource, but we expect to take care of that this year. We've got 3 zones in particular. We've got 5 in total that have a good density of drill data from us, and especially from the juniors that are before us, and majors actually in the 60s and 70s. So 3 of those zones are looking really good in terms of continuity of data and our ability to get a resource out of them. And we're working on that right now. expected this year. We drilled there last year. We'll drill again this year. That would be a key point in that process that you mentioned, is debuting those resources, revaluing the company around those, and then starting to look at those kind of studies. We're starting on second or third base in terms of adding value here and building a mine, because we have a terrific database reaching back many decades, but especially in the 2000s, some juniors before us did really quality work. They just weren't looking for the Platte Reef systems, and they didn't have as good a market as we've got right now coming on to do it in. So I would expect that we could move quite quickly towards mine status. I think that would likely be with a bigger partner. But I don't think it's going to be this year, because we see lots of value that we can add first before we do a bigger deal. We certainly have the attention of the majors. We're talking to a number of them. In fact, basically everyone you can name has appeared at our core shack at least, and some of them are in more advanced conversations. So in terms of that trajectory to a building a mine, it looks very good, and it looks like we could shorten that up nicely.
Absolutely. So Michael, what was your background prior to founding Group 10 Metals?
I joined the mining industry in 1990, and I came in from the processing and testing
you're a
side.
pup. You're a pup. Come on now.
Thank you for that. I just turned 53. I don't feel like a pup, but I'm loving the setup here, and the fact that I stuck around through the bear market, building these land positions is paying off very nicely. Our non-core assets are now very much of interest in an M&A sense as we focus on Stillwater. Stillwater is the flagship. It's a company maker. It's a career maker. It looks really good. I joined the mining industry through the mineral processing side in 1990. I joined a testing lab, doing flotation tests, cyanidation tests, some environmental work. Came to own that lab myself, and then went into exploration full on in 2002. So the roots of Group 10 really exist back in 2002, and by 2007 we were public. And we added the Ontario Gold Project beside Treasury Metals. We haven't really touched on that. That looks very good. We added that starting 2012. We went to the Yukon in 2015. And that's when we became nickel PGE focused. And that's where I met my current team. And the Stillwater asset came along in 2017, and that's the one.
And then from what you can tell us, what are the 1 to 2 things that investors should look for now for the rest of 2020 going into 2021?
We've got some early results that we'll be putting out shortly. Drill is now on site. The IP survey is on site. We're going to roll the IP survey just ahead of the drill, focusing on those 3 most advanced areas. I think that will quickly deliver some really nice results based on, again, the fact that we're starting our second or third base here. We're not starting in the basement. I would watch for more on our non-core assets as we continue to get interest in them. We have low carrying costs. We'll do the right deals at the right time, but that interest is coming along nicely. And ultimately, the priority for the year is converting these mineralized zones to our first resources at those 3 main areas, being Discovery, Crow Mountain, Camp, and HGR at Iron Mountain. And the high-grade gold story, which if you look at our May news, we surprised a few people with the Pine target and the high-grade gold that we've got there. And that's becoming its whole own separate story. We're beyond the shear zone, put it that way, that we see at Pine. That's now been blown wide open, and we've got potential for lots more.
Absolutely. Well, with that, Michael, where can my audience go and find everything they need to know about Group 10 Metals?
Website is group10metals.com, all written out, and feel free to reach out anytime. It's all on our website. We do a good job of reporting thoroughly and technically. So we invite questions.
Fantastic. Well, with that, Michael, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you taking the time. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Thanks, you as well. Cheers.
Thank you. My name is Robert Kraft. Again, I'm your host for SNN Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit that is happening September 15th to the 17th, now virtual. And again, you're going to see Michael there doing his thing, doing a presentation. And thank you for listening.
Thank you.